I'm CEO Foxtrot, and lately I've been covering pretty much everything going on in the southern part of the Red Dead Online map, which has been in the new Austin area. Well, I eventually want my videos to migrate across over every part of the entire map, even if there's not much going on, which today I'm going to be covering the area of Tall Trees in West Elizabeth. Now, although not too much is going on in Tall Trees, we'll be exploring 7 places that make up the area that is Tall Trees. Now, the first place we're going to take a look at in Tall Trees is called Bear Claw Camp. Here's where it is on the map. Which probably gets its name from the continuous bear encounters almost every time you come here. Now, there's much more to this place than meets the eye, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, let me get this bear out of the way so we're not having to look over our shoulder every second. I don't want to have to hurt you, bear. Alright, let's make sure he gets a safe distance. Now, the first obvious thing that you notice at this camp is this dead guy hanging out the window, which at first glance appears to have been attacked by a bear. But when you look much closer, you'll actually see that he's been shot with a barrage of arrows, which made me want to take a closer look at this place. So let's have a better look inside, because this is starting to look a little suspicious. Look at this. Another unfortunate dead guy filled with arrows. Well, I guess bears aren't the only danger in these parts. Now, there are a total of 4 abandoned rotting cabins on this property, as you've just seen the first one here. But as you take a look at the other 3 cabins, you'll also discover bodies in them as well, who are also filled with arrows. Unfortunately, this looks like it may be the work of the Skinner brothers, who are a gang of ruthless serial-killing travelers who prefer arrows over bullets and love scalping and dismembering people who are still alive. So be very careful when you come here, because you may actually encounter this cult of deranged serial killers being spawned into this location. So let's get out of here while we have the chance. Let me know what you guys think of this place in the comments below. Now, I had to include this place as one of the 7 places to explore in Tall Trees. Here's where it is on the map. This is a place that I like to call Thieves Landing View, because you're looking out over towards Thieves Landing and you can see part of the Thieves Landing stable here. Now, those of you who know me know that I love to take in the scenery of this game, and this rock in Tall Trees is definitely among one of the most beautiful views in the game. And I'll be sure to include other amazing views in other videos as I cover other areas of the map. But if you guys aren't stopping to look at some of this amazing scenery, you're really missing out on a great feature of Red Dead Online. Alright, break's over. Let's keep moving. You can't mention Tall Trees without mentioning Manzanita Post, which is a small Norwegian settlement that's supposed to be a trading post for traveler supplies before heading up into Tall Trees. Too bad this place isn't open in the game, but let's have a closer look anyway. There are usually a couple of horses hitched up in the front, so let's go around back. Now, a couple of things to mention is that this place was actually open for business in Red Dead Redemption 1, which, keep in mind, was set about a decade in the future from Red Dead Redemption 2, with this game being a prequel. Red Dead 2 takes place from 1899 to 1907, and Red Dead 1 took place in 1911, 4 years after Red Dead 2 supposedly ended. Just some notable facts about the game. So anyway, to keep your horse safe from passing griefers, you can safely hitch your horse up here. Now, the true story goes that the reason why players can't trade or interact at the Manzanita Post store is mainly because of the presence of the Skinner brothers terrorizing the area. I'm not making this stuff up. There are real reasons for almost everything in this game. Alright, let me show you a few things. Now if you come over to this porch, you can hang out and relax. Let's go grab that collectible. These dogs are actually here to chase off any bears in the area. True fact. You'll always notice one or two horses being hitched up here. And as for any horse with a saddle in this game, you can pat the horse for about 15 to 20 seconds for a quick bonding. And make sure you count. And the horse may let you loot the saddlebag without stamping a horseshoe print in your forehead. But be extremely careful because every horse is different. Now in this side cabin, the Norwegian settlers in story mode had a big scandal going on, which is a really long story for another day. But just know that this cabin does have a common interior that can be looted, which I'll let you guys check that out on your own. Manzanita Post does have an active campfire for you to craft items if you need to, or you could just take a rest. And here's the rest of the camp. Now, although this is not an active stew pot, there is something back here that is active. There are some nice soft Norwegian bread rolls for you to munch down on. And a special shout out to my Norwegian family in Haugesund, Norway. Let's move on. Alright, next is a place in tall trees that I definitely can't leave out. Here's where it is on the map. Now I'm just at the southern mouth of the Aurora Basin, which is at the top of the lower Montana River. And I actually did an entire video on this incredible fishing location, which I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll be doing many more fishing spots videos in the future, but my favorite spot locations are basically based on 1, high fish count, and 2, extremely short reel-in distance. So if you guys like fishing, make sure you guys check that video out whenever you get a chance. Next, we're at a shack at the very north point of Aurora Basin. Here's where that is on the map. As with any area in tall trees, always closely watch your back for bears and wolves. And you can see the collectibles can also be found here. We got some Old Tom gin. Now this shack also has a common interior that can be looted. But again, I'll let you guys check that out on your own. But the first thing that's really special about Aurora Basin is this little sitting platform. It doesn't get any better than this. The second thing is that this entire lake is shallow all the way across, which makes it extremely unique. Although unfortunately the water is still too deep to actually fish out on the lake, but you are able to hunt birds like eagles or ducks for animal fat without ever losing a bird to deep water. And of course you can also hunt the lake on your horse while keeping them super clean at the same time. So whenever you're done splashing your horse around the lake, like you're on a jet ski in Vespucci Beach in Los Santos, head on over to the far west side of the lake for the next place of interest in tall trees. At the very edge of the map, you'll find a very secluded small Native American camp. You'll find it here on the map. This place is called Wikia, which is a tiny Native American village, which would be a really cool place for players who have Native American characters to roleplay. It's just too bad that it doesn't have an active campfire. Hint hint, Rockstar. I always say that these unique places would sort of make up for missing properties that players are wanting for this game, if only most of these locations and interiors were just much more interactive to players. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Let's grab this collectible and we'll get out of here. Alright, let's go. Now this last place that I'm going to explore is a location that most of you are probably familiar with because it was a known cougar spawn exploit location that Rockstar recently fixed. And it's right here on the map. Alright, check out the direction that I'm leaving my horse. And you're going to want to head straight up into this canyon here. Make sure you continue towards the canyon wall. Now you no longer can pull tons of back-to-back cougars out of this canyon like you could before Rockstar fixed the sleeping cougar respawns, but this still continues to be a nice cougar spawn hotspot. Look for this big boulder on your right and walk up to this spot here. Climb up and quickly jump onto the ledge. And there you'll see Cougar Canyon. And if you find it tricky to access this ledge, oops, there's another way to get up, but if you go around this way, make sure you watch your back. Now if a cougar doesn't spawn in the first few minutes, don't stick around and wait for a cougar to spawn. Just go back to whatever you were doing and check back into the canyon whenever you're in the area, and usually a cougar will spawn in right away. So you see you can walk up the ledge from this side. And here you have a great vantage point of the canyon. And if things get really hairy, you can climb up to this spot for a little added safety if you need it. Alright, so you can see that the cougar hasn't spawned in yet for me this time. But for the purpose of this video, I'll be a little more creative by bringing in this fully skinned bighorn sheep carcass and lacing it with some predator bait to show you that cougars do spawn in this canyon. And voila! Let's see where this baby is. right between the eyes. When you take these cougars down to the road, don't forget to call in your hunting wagon to store these carcasses for crypts later. Got ourselves a 3-star cougar. Not bad. If you guys enjoyed exploring tall trees with me, let me know in the comments. And be sure to leave a like. And make sure you subscribe to this channel to receive more videos like this. And don't forget to hit that bell to receive alerts.